Everything you need to know about the K-1 fiancé visa. Hello, I'm immigration attorney Hüseyin Emre. In this video, I will answer some of the questions we frequently receive regarding the K-1 or non-immigrant visa for fiancé. First, let's discuss the meaning of the K-1 visa. The K-1 visa is a type of visa that allows individuals who are engaged to U.S. citizens to enter the U.S. to marry their U.S. citizen fiancés and pursue adjustment application afterwards. To summarize, it is intended for the fiancé of a U.S. citizen to come to the U.S., get married, and then proceed with the adjustment of status process. Let's talk about the K-1 visa process steps. The K-1 visa application can be summarized in a few steps. First, the US citizen must submit Form I-129F to USCIS. After completing the form, it should be sent to USCIS for review. If the application is approved, USCIS forwards the approved petition to the National Visa Center, in short NVC. Once the file arrives at the consulate, it will be reviewed and an interview date will be scheduled for the applicants. If the interview steps go successfully, the non-US citizen fiancé is granted the K-1 visa. We must inform you that it's immensely important to bring all required documents that the consulate may request during the interview. So let's summarize these documents. The summary of required documents. Number 1. Proof of engagement. These could be photos, messages, and documents that demonstrate you have traveled and or spent time together. Any documents proving the authenticity of your engagement will be helpful. Second one is identification and passport information. Valid ID and passports for both you and your fiancé. And the third one would be financial documents. Proof that you, as a US citizen, can financially support your fiancé. So what to do after the interview? What is the next step after the interview and after your fiancé arrives in the United States? First, we must inform you that the approved K-1 visa is valid for 6 months from the date of approval, meaning the non-US citizen fiancé must enter the US within this 6-month period. It's also crucial to note that you must get married within 90 days of entering the US. This 90-day period is immensely important since you don't get married within the specified time, your fiancé's status will expire and they may have to leave the country. Now, let's say you've entered the US within the 6-month period and got married within the following 90 days. What's the next step? The next step is the adjustment of status, which is applying for a green card. Since this process is quite detailed, we advise you to seek help from an expert immigration attorney to ensure your process goes smoothly. Also, you can check out our previous videos on this. Okay, so a final recommendation. The final topic that I want to address is how we think you should apply for a K-1 visa and whether it is the most suitable option for you. First, it is important to clarify that applying for a K-1 visa is not the only way for a person married to a US citizen to obtain a green card. A US citizen and their spouse who's outside the United States can also directly apply for a green card through consular processing. When deciding which path to take, there are certain factors you should consider. Although the K-1 visa allows you to enter the United States more quickly, the entire process may take longer and be more expensive compared to consular processing. On the other hand, consular processing generally is less expensive, but it is important to note that the non-citizen spouse may enter the United States later than they would through the K-1 visa process.